So I'm going to be doing 2 studies. I would say simultaneously, but I'll be working on them at the same time. Quote unquote at the same time, but I'm not really. Just going to be working on them. I'm going to be jumping from one to the other, back and forth. Just doing more studies for a commission piece that I'm working on, or going to work on. And as I said in previous videos, previous videos really, is I tend to do multiple drawings before I'm ready to draw. I'm going to spend about 30 minutes on it, and I'll probably pick back up tomorrow on it. I'm not expecting to get the drawings done. What are you going to do? Honestly, real talk, I don't want to be here right now. Like, I don't want to draw at all. Like, I am not feeling it today. I don't feel like doing any of this at the moment. And I think, like, it's late. I've been doing nothing but things all day, and I still got a bunch of things I got to do, and I don't feel like doing this right now. I think people think that they get this impression that, like, artists always are in the mood. They have like this, like, or they get this like inspiration, you know? No, like inspiration gets your like your foot in the door, you know? I don't feel like drawing half the time. You know, I'm not one of those, I don't feel like I'm one of those blessed artists that just love drawing, like they're obsessed, you know? And I'm just not like that. I feel like I have to force myself. You know, and I'm feeling like I really have to force myself right now, and I just don't feel like it, you know? I kind of got like a sour taste in my mouth right now, and feeling like a Debbie Downer, and it's really affected me. So that's just one thing, you know, like artists, you know, don't feel like doing things. I mean, you got to look at like any job or anything that you do. Like, even if you like doing it, you're not always going to feel like wanting to do it, you know. And this is the case. And I'm really finding it very hard to get down in the studio, into my studio. Even though, like, 30 minutes of my time to do a little bit of work, it might as well feel like 7 hours or 10 hours. It feels like it's an eternity. And it's not. It's not. But I really I'm not really in the headspace to want to do this, you know, because it's late. You know, you have like a long day. You've been doing nothing. You've just been doing things all day, and you're tired. You know, And I find myself in this position where I am tired. I don't. This isn't fun because I want to do it when it's comfortable, you know, when the time is right. And I've been saying this for years. It feels like the time is never right. Like, I can never do this during the day, and that's the most frustrating thing. Like, I can't do it during the day, and it's soul crushing because I want to be able to do it like just casually. I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling good. I have a cup of coffee. Let's just go down in the basement or in the studio and just do some work. You know, just do a little bit of work. Listen to a podcast or something. I don't know. Just enjoy the day a little bit. And man, this pastel, this charcoal is not doing what I want it to do. If you're wondering what I'm doing, is I'm using charcoal and I'm doing basically an underdrawing of my drawing before I draw the drawing. It's crazy, I know. Like, I'm gonna do an underdrawing of the drawing that I'm gonna draw before the drawing is being drawn. You know, it's basically a fancy word for a sketch. But yeah, and I don't feel like doing it, man. I feel like it feels like I'm forcing myself. Now, after a while, I'm like, okay, I feel like, okay, well, I'm here. Might as well do some work, you know. Might as well do something of value. But some days, it's just like blowing raspberries, right? Like, I'm being paid to do this. I'm being paid. And even being paid is not much doesn't motivate me. Like, it's so bad. Like, I guess that's like a good thing. It means maybe it means that I'm like, you couldn't corrupt me with money. I don't know. You know how like some people have a price. I guess really what it boils down to is the price would be like 50 million. You know, I'm kidding, but yeah, I'm being paid to do this, and even being paid, it's not like the primary driver for it. So whenever people ask me, how do you like get inspired, like how do you get inspired, you know? What can I do to get the motivation to do the thing? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, like, because half the time I don't even want to do it. Like, I guess if I think it'd be different. I really do think it'd be different if my livelihood was making art, you know, where like I made art and people bought it regularly. I'm like, oh well, people like my art, man. I guess I should make art. But my livelihood isn't from making art. I make some. Sometimes I make some money. Sometimes I don't. You know, but for the most part, it's just like I just do it for like funsies. And I don't like a lot of the artists that I know. I think I know only a handful do it for the love of the game. And most, the ones that have stopped, it's because it's so hard to make money off it consistently. Even with like online and stuff, like, oh, it's so easy, just make stickers and stuff. Like, well, if your work doesn't easily translate to making stickers, or whatever, or prints, if your work is not like the type of work that people want to hang in their wall, it's a hard sell. And like, well, the initial idea is like, well, you want to make work that people like. Well, that's like the kind of like the commercial art side to it, right? You know, you just yeah, that's all in fine and well to make work that people like. But what if the work that you make that people like, you hate doing it, right? Like, what if you hate doing it? Like, oh man, this person starts making so and so, but you hate doing it. Like, you hate. It's like it'd be like the equivalent of like going to a job that you hate going to. You absolutely hate going to it, but it pays the bills, right? And you got yourself in a pickle, right? You're in a conundrum. Do you continue making the work that you absolutely hate doing so that you can pay the bills? Or do you make work, do you do things that you enjoy enough that you can continue doing them? And I think I'd rather do things that I enjoy enough that I continue doing it over the idea of quote unquote making work that people like. Now, I'm not saying that some of the work I make people do not like. I mean, most of the work that I made, the people that liked it could not afford it, you know? They couldn't afford it. Like, so what are you gonna do? So the customer base liked the work, but they weren't in the right tax bracket, you know? Anyway, so I'm kind of getting a little bit more. I'm kind of getting a little bit better at. I'm feeling a little bit more inclined to draw, but it's more so because I'm just here, you know, and less because I feel like drawing. It's not like oh, this thing's in my way. Literally, I have a thing right in my stance. I need to get in the proper drawing power stance. I gotta make sure my legs are shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider, so that I can pivot. Not really. But yeah, I didn't feel like drawing today. I was upstairs, and I was just like scrolling on Amazon Prime, procrastinating. And I could have got this done earlier if I just went down earlier. I had some I had some windows of time that I could do this a little bit earlier. Just a wee bit. Not by a lot, just a wee bit. Like a tiny little bit. Just a tiny wee. A tiny little bit of time. So I had a little bit of time. But not a significant amount of time. Let's don't get that. Let's don't skew it. So it's like you often have like these people that you hear on like online, like when I do my YouTube, or I do my art, or I do whatever thing creative. Most of the times I don't feel like doing it, and then but you really make a lot of money doing that. It's a little bit different. There's a big motivation, and as I said though, money is not the biggest a big pull for me. As I kind of pointed out here, I'm being paid to do this drawing, and even that is not that I'm saying that I won't do the drawing. I like drawing, but I think the reason why it's not a big enough pool for me, because most of the time that I can draw, it's like, it's kind of like if you worked 12 hours, right? You worked 12 hours at your job, and after 12 hours, they're like, hey, you want to go to another job and work? And you're like, not really. That doesn't sound pleasant to me. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of having to after pulling 12 hours of work, having to do more work. And that's what these are. This is more work, albeit subtly, like, enjoyable work, but it's work nonetheless. Don't people tend to skew that, like, oh, art, why won't you give me art for free? Well, do you work for free? And people kind of skew like art as if it's like a recreation, a pastime. And for some it is. To some extent I kind of do it recreationally, but I'm not going to recreationally do what you want me to draw for you because I like drawing. I'm not going to do someone else's. I'm not going to take a request and just do it because you oh, you love drawing. Can you do this for free for me? And then give me the drawing? No. You're going to have to pay. Because Papa's got to feed, got kids to feed and bills to pay, Doing free things for you is not going to help me put food on the plate. You know what I'm saying? You used to have that people go, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I used to talk to people that would say that a lot. And then I troll them. And I just keep saying, you know what I'm saying? Like over and over again. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like J-Rock. You've been saying, you know what I'm saying's too much. You can't, too many know what I'm sayings. So the talking has kind of helped me. It's kind of been a little therapeutic because it's distracting me from what I'm doing. So right now, the drawing has been kind of automatic. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of like an automatic drawing where I'm just almost responding. And there can be some use out of that, right? You can get a little bit of utility out of that, where you just respond to the subject matter. You know what I'm saying? No one knows what you're saying, dude. Stop. So I don't know how far I want to go with these little simple shapes here. I think I'm getting to the point where I just might want to kind of start adding some color to it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe work on this one a little bit more. It's a little too abstract for my liking. Oftentimes, though, when you don't feel like doing your art or working, and like making art is work. It's like a job. It's a job. It's a job. It could be an unpaid job too, you know, where like it's it can be. It has it's moments where it's satisfying, the end piece, the getting the drawing done or getting a painting done or getting whatever you're working on done. It's very satisfying. There's some satisfaction happening at the end, but sometimes the process of doing is not enjoyable. Not to sound like I'm a downer, I'm just, it's late for me, I'm tired, and I got a bunch of other things I got to do after this, and not too thrilled. I'm not too thrilled about it. I'm not too thrilled. You never had I don't like the idea that I have to do everything at the end of the day, and that's really frustrating as a person. Like, you have to keep pushing things that you have to do at the end of the day, and then people wonder why you're not can do like Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty. Morty. Blah. Yeah. Anyways, maybe I should move to a little bit of color, just so I can get something started. So I did like these simple little, these little studies. When all is said and done, I'm going to have at least 3 studies, and and then I might do 2 more. I think what I might have is I might end up doing like 5. I don't even know. I might even do more than that until I feel confident to jump into the big drawing. I probably I need to clear out all this stuff here before I go ahead and do my big drawing, but I think I'll do that. And when I do that, I'll start getting serious. But right now, this is all just for fun. Just having a little bit of fun and dipping my toes into the metaphorical drawing pool. And what's cool about doing this is that you can do 2 drawings at once. Not technically not, but you can do 2 drawings at once. You stop and you do this one, and then you go down here, and then you make another one, just recreating some of the same marks or the same tempo. It's not like you're copying both of them. You're just taking them and then applying similar marks and a similar approach, and at the end of it you have 2 drawings instead of 1. And essentially, though, they're 2 studies. Let's not what'd you call it? Complicate things. Let's not overemphasize that, because they're just studies. They're nothing special. They're just me kind of practicing. As I said before, these are more along the lines of I guess you would call them color studies. And I think by doing multiple color studies, when I approach the actual piece, I will be more confident in my approach, and I will be, I think I'll just be more confident, really. I'll be less afraid. Whenever I do like commissions, I'm always afraid, because with it's my work. If I mess it up, yeah, I'll mess it up. That's okay. It's my work, you know. No harm, no foul. But when I do like a commission, it's like I don't want to mess it up. I want to do a good job for my client, for my customer, you know, and that's what I want to do, even when I don't feel like doing it. You know, it's just like when you go to work, you don't feel like working some of the jobs, right? You don't feel like working some of the jobs, but you at least try to do a good job, right? You want to do a good job while you're there, right? So while I'm present, while I'm here, whether or not I feel like doing this, I at least want to provide a good product, a good outcome. If it's my own work, I can be my own critic, right? And that to me is better than having someone else be a critic, right? Whenever someone else is looking at your work, and especially a client, you don't want them to be critical. You want them to like the outcome. You don't want them to be like, hey, could you change this a little bit? Do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of this. And it is what it is. But I try to do a good job. And that's why sometimes when I do these commissions, they can make me a little uneasy. And as I said, most of the time I don't want to do them. Not because I don't know why. Like, I don't have like a real reason. I think mainly the biggest reason is it's usually late. I'm tired. It's late. It's been a long day. I'm tired, and I just don't want to draw. I just really want to sit down and have a soda or something, or like eat a bunch of bad food and watch Amazon Prime or Netflix, you know? But I also know that's like, I don't know if that's any better, right? I don't know if that's a good thing to be doing anyways. So I think this is probably a better thing to be doing, whether or not I like doing it or want to do it right now. So I remember last time I told you that this teal here is going to be a major component in this drawing. And because I did that experiment or that study, I know that I can jump into using this teal earlier on. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to use a base layer of blue and then put the teal on top. So maybe I kind of jumped the gun on this one. And that's okay. That's why we do these studies. But we're heading in on the 30-minute mark. Are working in the studio for 30 minutes, and I think that will be that. I think that's enough for today. I just wanted to get some work in and talk about the process. Maybe a little bit ranty. I don't know. But it's really the reality of it's really how it is. You know, it's just how it is. Like, this is where I'm at. Like, I don't always feel like making work, and I think a lot of new artists struggle with the idea, like, how do I get motivated to do work? Like, how do I do it? Because they're not motivated, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I totally feel you. I understand that logic, because I'm never motivated, and I don't always feel like doing it. because it's late. I'm tired. I just want to lay on a couch or something and I don't know, sleep. Oh man, I guess I'm just overworked, underpaid, undervalued. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, I gotta get going. I hope you got some value out of this, some understanding in the workings of my art, my process, or maybe I scared you off. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. I'm going to turn it off now. Right here. Press that button.